We are the Ellis family. My name is David.
And I'm Amy, and this is Kate.
Maggie.
And we'd like to tell you our story.
So we met our freshman year of high school, and then dated all through high school and college. After we graduated college, we got married, and
5 years later, we had our first daughter, Maggie. And once we settled into parenthood, we were having so much fun. She was just such a joy and brought so much to our lives. We wanted to bring on the second child. So our second daughter, Kate, was born about 2.5 years later. Everything went well with the pregnancy. Baby was growing, I was growing. And then at 28 weeks, just one day, I was not feeling well. And went to the doctor, checked things out, and was having some complications, and so they put me on bed rest. And of course I was on bed rest also with a toddler, so that's a difficult thing to do, and working as well from the couch. So one night, all I can really remember that day, I had changed Maggie's bed, the sheets, and I guess that was just too much for me that day. So that evening, I just kind of moved around on the couch, and something happened. I wasn't really sure exactly what it was, and my water had broke.
we thought our water had broken, but we weren't sure. And then we got to the hospital, and they told us, your water's broken, and you're going to be here for a while.
I was scared to death that night, thinking once your water breaks, you have to have the baby, I thought, within a certain number of hours. So they told me differently and just basically said, you're going to be here for the entirety of your pregnancy. Could be a month, could be a day, could be 2 days. So they brought us into a room and started giving me the steroid shots for the baby to help her lungs develop.
I actually remember waking up in the middle of the night. I think I'd slept pretty hard too, and there was nurses in the room, and they basically came and said, look, it's time we need to take the baby now. And I remember her coming out, and it was different than when we had Maggie, because when Maggie came out, she didn't start breathing right away, so they had to do some procedures and things like that. But for some reason, when Kate came out, she was good, and they took her over, and screaming, and they took her over, and they cleaned her up and brought her over to us and let us hold her for a minute. And it was really the only time we were able to hold her until maybe, I don't know, that night or maybe the next day even. So we knew we were getting close to leaving the NICU. The longer you stay in the NICU, the less tubes and less assistance that the nurses and stuff are doing for your baby. And we got to a point where it was close to time, and I remember the day, it was a sunny day. We had head up to the hospital. It was on a weekend, and there was a few tests that she needed to pass before she was able to come home. And I think when we got there, the doctors had said that she'd passed the test, and then it was time for her to come home. And so Maggie was with us, and it was a very surreal experience, because usually you're used to taking your baby home with you, 2 days later. Instead, we've been with her for 21 days, and all our friends and some of our family, nobody really met her yet, because the only people that are out of the NICU are immediate family members. So it was cool. We picked her up and brought her home, and she was a healthy baby at that point.
So from our first day in the NICU, I just was amazed at the treatment that Kate got, the treatment that the other babies who may have had some other health concerns in there received. And I know that March of Dimes research plays a lot into that. This is a teeny, tiny little person, and they have procedures, and they have everything that they need to help these babies survive.
Thank you, March of Dimes.